Okay, on this video, I want to talk about Town Hall 9 base building. So, I'm just gonna build a base and kind of talk you guys through it as to why I'm putting things where I am and how I go about it. So you always start with the clan castle in the middle. That's obvious. You don't want a lurable CC. The next thing, you want your Archer Queen offset somewhere. So you can have her up here or somewhere. But you don't want to have her in the core because then your opponent can attack you from any angle and still get to her. Because see, she has this range, so she can just jump over walls. So your opponent, you want to kind of force your opponent's hand. So just kind of put her over there for the meantime. Then you want to put your air defenses down. And I like to put one, I would recommend putting one air defense near the queen, because otherwise your opponent can just send in like 2 dragons, and then the queen will lock on, and then the dragons will lock on to her, and then they'll kill her. Then they can have another portion of the raid where they take out something with a kill squad, and then they can have backhand hogs or loons or something like that. So to prevent those suicide dragons from killing your queen, you want an air defense somewhere close. I'm just going to put that right there. So then you want to put the rest of the air defenses down. Just kind of away from the queen. So these, I'm probably going to move these around, but this is just kind of a rough. They're covering each other, so that's good. This is just kind of a rough idea of where I want them. And with this one, they're going to cover most of the base. You can see here. Going to cover most of the base. So now, as soon as you have this down, this kind of basic structure, you want to think about where you want your double giant bombs and where you want to have fake double giant bomb spots, because you want to have at least one that's not real. So I'm going to start right here. Because it's in the core, so it's pretty deep. And instead of a bomb, I'm going to have a Tesla here. Now, immediately I see that, okay, if the person wants to come from the east, go through, get the queen, take this air defense, they can get to this air defense. It's not that far. So I'm just going to put some roadblocks in. And the town hall is the biggest roadblock you can have. So I'm just going to put that there. So now they have to push through the clan castle and the town hall and the Tesla and the expo just to get to the air defense. So that's just kind of, you don't want them to get 2 air defenses and the queen. That's absolutely imperative. Unless they're, investing 3 golems or something. In which case they're probably not going to do an air raid anyways. So then another angle I see from the south, if you come from the south, you can get these 2 and the queen. So I'm going to put some more hit points in the way. Here, maybe I'll put something here at some point, but not right now. So, and then same thing from the north. If they attack from the north, they can get these 2, or maybe these 2. So I'm going to put I'm going to put the dark storage. So these are the 3 highest hit point buildings right in front. So this is really well protected, this air defense. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my bomb spot. I'm going to put it like right here. From this air defense to there. And so obviously I need some walls to fill up that hole. And then remember, you gotta have enough space here so that 2 bombs fit, because you want it to be a good fake spot. And then I'm gonna put another storage here to kind of protect the double spot and the air defense more. So I've got quite a bit of HP here. Okay, so now we're kind of getting a little bit of a idea of what the base is going to look like. Couple things we have to address are the other giant bomb spot. Now, you can have a double and 2 singles. I recommend having 2 doubles. I just think it's a lot easier, because if you have a double and 2 singles, then they can just take their golems and take out the queen and the 1 spot, and then if I have 2 singles somewhere else and they have 3 heals left over for their hogs, that they're going to be fine. So I'm actually going to put a double spot somewhere around here, and I'm actually going to have a bunch of fake double spots. So these 2 air defenses are kind of close to the edge. So I'm going to put a sweeper here, and it's most likely going to point this way. At the end we can look at it again, but it's most likely going to point this way. Just because that's going to be pretty close. Just looking at this, it's going to be pretty close to the outside walls. I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to have this as a fake double spot. Right. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a Tesla here. And I know I have a Tesla with a giant bomb in a lot of my bases, but it's by no means mandatory. I just think it makes it harder for the attacker to tell. Like here, there's one. So don't feel like it's bad if you just have like this. The only thing that matters is that the pathing works and that it's deep into your base. Okay. So there we go. So that was a hole there. I just moved that over. This can actually, okay. All right. So then, what are we gonna do? Okay, so wizard towers. We've got the air defenses down. We have 1 wizard tower down. You don't want your wizard towers to cover air defenses. So see how this is covering? So I'm going to move that out 1. Because what's going to happen is the lava hounds are going to come to the air defenses and sit there. And you don't want the wizard tower doing 48 damage per shot onto a 6200 HP lava hound. You want them to attack the balloons. So this way it ensures that once the lava hound gets here, the wizard tower can shoot all the balloons that are coming in. So I'm going to put one kind of over here. And then again this, I'm going to move that up there. There we go. So this is not in range. These air defenses aren't in range, so they send in the hounds and then they send in the balloons, and hopefully there's a number of defenses here that'll make the balloons pause, and that can help the wizard tower get a lot of fire to kill the balloons. Because it's not the lava hounds that kill all your defenses, it's the balloons. And then what I'm going to do, so it looks kind of I'm looking kind of weak DPS wise over here, so I'm gonna put a Tesla right here. And so I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. There's, again, if the kill squad comes from here, we need some kind of point defense. We got this 1 expo, but the Tesla will help. That's quite a bit of damage on the golems or the heroes or whatever that are coming this way. And then this Tesla isn't covering the air defenses either, so that's also going to hit the balloons. So a Tesla, a wizard tower, and an air bomb is just going to... It's a nightmare for like 8 balloons because it'll just kill them all. And then you can kind of see how I'm starting to path. If the hogs come here, they're going to go here, 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 and then over here. Right? So you want the pathing to work out so that it goes right over the giant bombs. And again here, if they come here, they're not going to the air defense. They're going to the Tesla, and then what's the closest defense? The wizard tower, so they're going to go right over the giant bombs. So, let's see. We've got 1 sweeper here. I like to put the other sweeper on the other side of the base. Maybe like right there. Just to... Because you don't want both sweepers to die in the hybrid, so if they come from here, and they get this sweeper and the queen and the air defense, they're not going to have this. So you want to have the sweepers kind of separated. You don't want to have them like super close together. You don't want to have this going on. Okay. Let's see. So let's get another wizard tower. So what we want to do, we've got this nice pathing here to the bombs. So what we want to do is we have to have some kind of defense here, but we don't want the defense to just go here to here and then to there, because then they can just send a couple of sacrificial hogs. So we're going to actually path the hogs around in a circle and force them to go over there. So they can't just go directly there. So we're going to... let's see here. Okay. Okay. Let's just kind of build a... So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a line of defenses that's going to move all the way up there. So I don't really want a defense there, so I'm just going to put a trash building. Like, let's put this there. And then, excuse me, archer tower. So let's see how we're going to start this path. And then how about a wizard tower? So this kind of worked out well. So the wizard tower is still not in range of that. It's not covering the air defense. So if the balloons come here to here, they're going to have the wizard tower beaten on them. And this is a hole, so we can just put that there. And then let's put a spring trap here. I don't know why this is being like this. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now you can see we're going to path the hog. Even if they want to come straight at the expo, they can't. They have no choice. They're going to go around. So then I'm just going to, let's see. You want to balance your splash and your point defense. So I'm just going to put that there. This, you don't want this too close to the edge, so we're going to have another layer of defenses. Okay. So how about an archer tower here, maybe? And then this is another, so this is another good place for storage. It's just kind of a big empty spot. Perfect. So now you can see it's going to be really hard for them to come from the south to get these two and the queen. They almost, I mean, it's almost impossible. They've got 2 Expos, 2 Teslas, 3-point defense here. They've got splash damage. They've got a lot of walls to break through, and they've got tons of HP. It's just, so this is a pretty good defense from the south. And then, okay, let's work over here. So this air defense, you can tell that this is going to be kind of close to the edge, but you don't want your walls to just come out here, because if they do an Archer Queen walk, an AQ walk with the healers, if the walls are right here, then the queen could just walk up and shoot the air defense down. And you can't have an air defense or a defense that's next to a double giant bomb spot. You cannot have that able to be killed by an AQ walk. So the distance you need to put them out from the walls is 5 tiles. So if you think about that, it's your walls plus 1 defense plus an extra space, and then the thing you need to protect. Okay, so these are 3 across, plus the space, plus the wall, that's 5. And then that's the minimum. So this is safe because it's got walls 3, and then the extra walls. So I'm actually going to put a Tesla here. Maybe people will think that they can put a hog there to get the lure, but I'll just do something like that. And then there's always going to be these holes with your Teslas, so just kind of put a drill. Right, so now, and then how about a spring trap here? Okay, and then, alright, so we've got point defense, we've got a point defense here. We can put that as a spring trap as well. Gonna put them in the middle. Try to put your spring trap, if at all possible, put your spring traps covering the middle of a defense. The edge, sometimes it's not as much of a guarantee, like if you had something like this. It's not always a guarantee. But if it's in the middle, it's probably going to trigger it. And then let's get some splash. Let's just put a mortar here. And then there. Okay, so that's a pretty good pocket. So notice how I'm just building the walls around my defenses. So here we've got, because this is a bluff spot, I'm bluffing a double giant bomb spot here. You want to make the pathing kind of work for that too. So I'm going to put, so you don't want something right in front because this wouldn't work. If they go here to here, then they're going to trigger the bombs one at a time. So I'm going to kind of have that. And then same thing with these. This is another fake spot, so you don't want something right here. So I'm gonna, let's see. So again, pretend this is an air defense, so you gotta have walls, you gotta have be 5 tiles in the minimum. So this is 6 tiles in. So this is 5 in from both ways. This is very deep. This is 5 in, and then we'll get to this later. And then again, I don't want a defense right here, so I'm gonna move it over a bit, and then it's a hole, so you can just put a piece of trash there like that. Right. Okay. And then same thing here. You can just, and then this again. This is a double giant bomb spot, so you can't have it. This can't be the outer wall because the queen could just come by and shoot this. right? So I think I have another, yeah, so I have this last wizard tower. I think I'm going to put it right there. And then, because see how this is pathing now? If they drop here, you go to the wizard tower, then the cannon, then Tesla, and then over the bombs. And I'm actually going to put a nice spring there. Okay, so again, they can't send like 5 or 6 sacrificial hogs because they go here to the wizard tower that does splash damage to all of them. Then they've got 1, 2, 3 point defense on them, and they're going to lose some to the spring trap. So they're going to die by the time they get to the Tesla. So they can't just send a few sacrificial hogs. They're going to have a huge group of hogs to go over here. Okay. So now we've kind of done 3/4 of the base, pretty much. We just have the queen side. So the king, I like putting the king with the queen for a couple of reasons. You can absolutely have him on the other side. It's totally fine. There's lots of great bases with the king and the queen in different spots. The reasons I like the king with the queen: one, you can put him in front, so if the hero, like let's say the enemy king is over here, and your king locks onto him, he'll kill that king before he kills the queen. So that's more time for the queen to deal damage. And then the other reason, if your opponent is doing an air attack, and your king's like over here, they're gonna use their kill squad to kill the queen. But then when they do the air attack, the king's useless. But if you have it next to the queen, when they do their kill squad, the king's gonna come into play at least. So that's why I like the king with the queen, but it's by no means mandatory. So now I guess we're gonna start. Okay. So I'm gonna put these, and the queen is another thing that's like the air defenses. You want her deep into the base. So I'm gonna make these little miniature edges here. So these are just places where I'm gonna put some defenses. So like an arch tower, because you want to defend the queen pretty well. We've got some storages here. We've got storages here. Let's put another storage. And up like this. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's put some more. Let's put this cannon over here. And since we have the air defense here and this arch tower, it doesn't matter if there's 2 cannons there. Okay. Then let's make another one of these things. Because you want the queen to be behind like 2 layers of walls. So she can come up here and then snipe the enemy. She's not going to jump over that wall. So if you can just make another thing like this. Oops. Okay, so it's a little... So we ran out of walls, but that's okay. We can find them somewhere. There's always some extra walls. So, okay, so let's put some extra... Let's put this here. Let's put this here. let's put another storage here, and storage here. Okay. Let's see, let's put another storage. So now I'm just gonna kind of fill out the trash ring. Okay, that's fine. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna move stuff over just a bit. And that way we can save a couple walls, because I'm just moving this down a little bit. Because we only need, I think we just needed like 3 walls. Alright. Okay, and then this just goes down 1. Okay. Alright, so this looks pretty good here. Hopefully not. Oh, we're 1 short. Okay, so if you're 1 short, there's always somewhere where you can look for a wall. Of course, I can just move this one over, obviously. So there you go. So there's the walls. And then, let's see, we've got 1 mortar left. Traps, where am I going to put that mortar? We've only got point defense here, so I'm going to put the mortar like over here. Okay, maybe. Yeah. And then, so okay, so the only thing, we've got trash buildings and traps. We got 1 more spring trap. Where am I going to put that? So how about here? Just kind of look at the pathing and what makes sense. So here. That makes sense that the hogs are probably going to use that. And then, okay, so we've got our air bombs and our skeletons. So skeletons, I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. The reason why is if the hybrid is either going to come from here, here, or here, I don't think they're going to come all the way across this base and kill my queen. That's just too much stuff. So if they come from here to try to get the queen to hop over and kill this air defense or something, they're going to run into the skeletons. If they come from here, they're going to try to get this. They're going to hit the skeletons. And then if they get here, whichever direction they go, this way or this way, they're going to run into a skeleton trap. So that's where I'm going to put mine. You can put them anywhere you want. You can put them in the core. You can put them right by the queen. I recommend them on ground, but Town Hall 9 is kind of a toss-up. My thing about having them on ground, if they do a ground attack, they're going to get used. If they do an air attack, they still have a possibility of getting used from the hybrid part of the attack with the golems. But if you have them on air and they do a ground attack, they get nothing. So the air mines, these black bombs you want by the air defenses, I wouldn't put, you can put, like I'm putting 2 there. I wouldn't put 2 on 2 different ones because you only get 4. Because if they zap quake those air defenses, then the hounds are just going to live forever. So you kind of want to spread them out. You can do 1 on each. I'm just doing 2 on this one because that's a hard air defense to get to. And then air bombs, I like to put by my wizard towers. And then this is like a wizard tower with a Tesla, so how about that? Okay, and then, alright guys, I'm going to do a speed build of this base, where I fill in all the trash buildings, but I don't want to bore you with that. So if you have any questions about building a base, or about this base, or pathing, or anything like that, feel free to leave me a question in the comments section. I'll see you guys next time.